Yo, what's up guys, this is Happy No with another Guild Wars 2 PvP video, and this time with the Spellbreaker anti-condition build. This is my Whitebeard Char warrior, for the people who will ask me. And before I talk about it, I will just show you quickly the skins that I'm using: Bloodstone Visage, Herald Shoulder Plate, Mistbard Plate, Mistbard, Phoenix Greatsword, and Marjorie's Dagger, plus Wargoth's Shield. And the outfit that I'm wearing currently is the Lunatic Guard outfit, which looks like the best on Chars. And now, what's this build all about? It's about to counter condi players, which we will have only here the Scourge and probably the Chronomancer here. The Warrior and the Thief should be no problem, and then they will have a Firebrand there. You are shield whenever you summon an illusion. And I don't know what this guy is playing. So this build is probably better shown against more than one or two condi players, but for now it will be, I guess, more than enough. It's off season, so for the people who expect a little bit too much, don't expect too much, yeah. Now, what is this build all about? You are a roamer, you can go far, take 1v1s, do whatever you want. It's Saru. I don't know who this guy really is, but what you can do first is just try to dodge and stuff, you know. You don't even have to attack that fast. I can do this. I have my stability. He will not be able to block me. He's playing the bunker build, so it will take a lot of time to just finish him off, or it will take not so much. I stun him, I remove his boons, and now I can just start damaging him. He's playing some weird ass bunker build, man, which is really annoying, but I can still do a lot of work there. He will be blocking. Just blocking as well, and now you can see it here, I'm getting outnumbered. I can now try to counter this guy. The conditions will apply no damage to me. And now my main goal will just be to try and kill this guy. He might even steal onto me. Yeah, he stole on me, which is really bad. But he was somehow able to do that. I can use this, and you can see how easily it is possible to retreat from that. My team is now losing, and I just took a lot of time to fight this guy, but it's just because he plays freaking noob build. I better said not noob build, but really zero skill bunker build again. So here we go, the other thing what you can do here. I can do and attack this guy now. Just remove his boons. Remove it, and now just repeatedly attack. My team is nowhere, so I have to get out of that first. Yeah, my team is nowhere, which is bad, but you can see the survivability. I got condi bomb and stuff. I'm easily able to just avoid that. I can block now if the thief tries to steal on me. The thief is still able to do a lot of damage there, but it's okay. I have my resistance, so immobilize and other conditions will affect nothing. I need to... Shit, I should have blocked. That was for sure. You just saw how long this guy was just spamming his AoE conditions onto me. As I just said, you don't have to expect anything. You have random players on your team. So it will be really hard to turn this game right now. We could have got something more going on, but I just wanted to show you the example against when you fight against a condi player. You can see this on mid is only one guy, and it is the thief. He will try to maybe outnumber, no, 1v1 me here. And is he stealing on me? He's not even trying, yeah. Now the good thing here is with this build you are still able to, but it requires a bit of practice of course, you are able to take almost every 1v1 if you know how to do it properly. And if you are about to lose something, you can just leave it and go ahead, run away, retreat from the combat and stay alive. That's like one thing that you can do a lot of times and really good. Now my main goal is just to interrupt this guy multiple times. And you can see it here. I just looking to steal the boons of this guy. Now I can block because he's just AoE spamming me. I can do this, block. Now I need to use my signet. I can stun this guy multiple times now. Ah, shit. You see, I got even the thief just got me because he stole my boons. Otherwise he wouldn't affect anything there. My team is not focusing at all, man. If my team would freaking focus the fireband, we could do so much more work, but yeah. It's ranked arena off season, so it's like basically unranked arena, just a little bit worse. You can see, for example, my thief or my revenant, no one is even quite trying to do something. And now against the normal warriors, what you can do is just, yeah, go ahead for it. He attacks me, man. And of course it does not affect anything. Why should it affect anything? Blocking here. I can even interrupt him, which is like the best part of this. Easily outplaying this thief, man. So hard outplaying this thief. That was like too easy. He will now steal on me. Easy game. Yeah, that's like really big loss. They had a full team of yeah, people, but yeah, never mind. They had the 5Q and me, I had 0. No, I had double duo Qs, but they were all really bad players, so you can do anything. I have 1 death, which you can see here, which is like not so much, but the game was also really bad match, but yeah, never mind. It's off season, as I said. You don't have to get mad or anything, or to expect anything like pro games and stuff. So my main goal was just to show you how and what you can do there. So let me just watch here if I can give you a better example. There is always one guy who plays condi cancer. Right now I'm not seeing someone. Deadeye? No one is playing condi cancer, man. This guy, he's playing something. Reaper. I want to attack him, but he's running the thief. Never mind. Let's get out of here. Now, what I'm gonna show you here first is just the build better set, because it will take like at least 10 or 20 games to get a really game against condi players right now, because it's like unranked arena. You can get mixed with bronze, with silvers and stuff like that, and you just don't know what to do. So what is the strength of this build? It is weaker against the normal against the normal Spellbreaker, because normal Spellbreaker is more based on DPS, and with the rousing resilience trait he will have more healing, and the extra toughness will give him extra power. This build is but not at all weak. It is, in my opinion, also really strong. What makes this build so strong is just because that you have perma resistance almost if you do it a little bit properly. And with resistance, you don't allow the enemy to weaken you, to chill you, cripple, and immobilize, which you just saw. That means you are free against every condi what you get. You can do whatever you want because condis will not affect you at all. The only thing that you have to care for is of course CC and boon removal, but not so much, because you will have, if they remove your boons, you will have again here resistance, resistance, and resistance on your full counter. So triple resistance plus the healing signet, the fourth one. You will not get rid of perma resistance on your build here so fast. Now the sigils that I'm using, which you can replace by the way if you find something better: sigil of agility and sigil of intelligence on my greatsword. This is just nice because of the combo with the shield bash, 2 seconds stun, and the mobilize that you apply when you stun someone. In combination with sigil of agility with the 2 seconds of quickness, you will be able to burst with 100 blades pretty hard. I'm just going to show it to you here on the golem, immobilizing him, and then with the 100 blades combo you are applying a lot of damage onto the enemy, and then you can just repeat this process. Now I'm using the Demolisher amulet for just testing reasons, because normally I recommend, if you are not using rousing resilience, to go with Berserker amulet for more damage, or even better, Marauder amulet, which is a double plus, because you will not just have the extra HP, you will deal a little bit less damage, but that's not the point here. You are not the main damage dealer here. You are just there to interrupt enemies, corrupt or steal boons. But I said steal boons and remove boons plus stay alive. That's your main goal. With the Marauder amulet you will have it much better by just having this 25k HP pool, and then with the resistance you will have poo and more than enough that you can work with. This is just for newer players. I recommend Marauder amulet. For the extra precision and vitality, which is really nice. Not extra precision right now here, but you get ferocity and power. So you will have the normal crit with the same as on the demolishers. For example, on the berserker you get less precision and less ferocity, but you will have more power. That's just by the way. Sigil of absorption and sigil of revocation on the dagger and shield, because Spellbreaker is the best to remove boons right now. It is even placed before the Reaper. That's what I wanted to say, the Necros. I know Necros can strip boons, tons of boons, but the Spellbreaker in my opinion can do it even better. That's just my opinion, but you can guess whatever you want. Now, what happens when you interrupt someone? You will remove 1 boon with your build. Then the second one here is Sigil of Absorption, allows you again to remove another, or better said here, is to steal a boon from the enemy. Which means whenever you use Disrupting Stab, Shield Bash, or full counter on your dagger shield set, you will every 3 seconds steal a boon from the enemy. Plus, if you stun him, you will remove another boon due to your build. And then Sigil of Revocation, by auto attacking you will remove an additional boon, which is really strong. At the beginning of the fight you can get 1, 2, and the third one immediately. 3 boon removals at the beginning of the fight with your first 2 attacks. Then what happens? Sigil of Revocation has of course the 10 seconds cooldown, which means after every weapon swap, almost every twice weapon swap, you will have it up again and remove another boon. Plus here again every 3 seconds if you stun, which means if you use your full counter maybe later, or your shield bash 3 seconds later, you can get another boon, which is nice. And what else can I say about this? I don't know. With this build that I'm running, you will also apply Mobilize, which is nice. Just by the way, I will show it later in the build as well. Rune of Leadership is my main one here to use because of the boon duration. It increases your boon duration by 30%, which means your resistance will be staying longer. Not this one from the trait itself, but the Vigor, for example here. The skill gives you Vigor because of the build, of course. And every time you get Vigor, you have it almost for 8 seconds, which is when you use a stance. And you have 3 stances, 1 auto-proccing on your build and double stances here. Plus, when you use Featherfoot Grace, you will have it almost 7 seconds, 6.5 seconds. of resistance, which will be less without the rune of leadership. Now the good thing here is as this Spellbreaker build, you will have double stun break and a third one with your auto proccing on the build, but that's not always a stun break. Now this is like really strong. Especially Featherfoot Grace is an offensive trait, which can be used defensively, offensively, and however you want it. It is strong overall. It gives you super speed and resistance and is a stun break. It allows you just to get out of difficult situations and just run away with your super speed a little bit faster than the enemies. The elite skill Rampage is just there because it is a strong elite skill, and especially in the combination with resistance, which means enemies can't blind you, or yeah, basically because of that. Enemies can't blind you or immobilize you. So this means you are free to apply every damage that you want with your Rampage, and it is annoying. If you know, if you fight someone with Rampage in a team fight and he has resistance, you know what I mean. Defense. On the traits that I'm using, defense, the basic one, Shield Master, Defy Pain, and Last Stand. And now here comes the thing where you can just swap your build. Last Stand has a 90 seconds cooldown with lesser balanced stance, which means I even forgot you have 4 stances. Last Stand will automatically proc lesser balanced stance whenever you get interrupted. This will not allow any interrupts. It is a stun break, and you will get stability for I don't know how many seconds, 5 seconds as well, yeah. For 5 seconds, periodically gaining stability and swiftness, which is really nice. Especially as I just said, if you get interrupted too early, you get condi bombed or something, you will have your stability up every once in a while, which means every second basically. And even if they remove it, you will get it back up again. It has a 90 seconds cooldown, which is really long, but therefore you will get the Vigor. And Vigor is a really strong boon in this build, because you will get it here once with the auto build, then the second one here, also every 90 seconds. But it triggers only if your HP falls under 50%, which is with the Marauder Amulet under 12k HP, 13k almost. And then 1-2 here, 4 times Vigor, and this just means that you will have almost permanent Vigor, which will allow you to dodge more frequently and more often, and just avoid condi bombs or overall AoE damage. Discipline, the basic ones, Warrior Sprint, Brawler's Recovery, and Burst Mastery. This is just because this build works the best here. And on the Spellbreaker build now. No Escape, Dazes, and Stuns Inflict Immobilize. This is just to be really annoying. Also, it is really strong, especially in team fights. 1 second of Immobilize is so annoying, people don't even know that. In my opinion, it is like the best to use at overall if you play Spellbreaker. And of course, for example, if you have more DPS players, you can just rock Guard Counter, which will give you 4 seconds of protection every time you use your full counter. But therefore you need to not play anti-condition builds, but the normal Spellbreaker. Slow counter, full counter plus cripple and slow. This is just because it synergizes really good with this build, and you will see why after I talked about the full counter in a second. Revenge counter, full counter deals additional damage and grants resistance. Copy conditions on yourself to targets you hit with full counter. This will mean normally it had 5 conditions, now it has only 3, but you will copy the 3 conditions that you are suffering from to all your enemies, not to one, and you will get yourself resistance, stability, and 20% more damage with your full counter. You can see it here if you go to your full counter, 20% damage boost, condis, copy it, you gain yourself resistance and stability, plus you will apply cripple and slow, and you grant yourself swiftness, and you daze the enemy. And it is unblockable, which is the best on the full counter here. Now, to see what I mean, gain insight when disabling foes or removing boons. Full counter refreshes all burst skills on hit. This is just disable every time you stun someone. You will get for 15 seconds this attacker's insight, ferocity, and power is increased. It has 5 stacks, so almost 250 more, or it should be 230 something, 230 more ferocity and power, which is a nice little bonus if you interrupt people 5 times. Then here, dazes, stuns, pulls, knockdowns, knockbacks, and launches remove boons, 1 each, which means, as I just said, 1, 2, 3. And with your elite breaching strike, you will also just remove normally 2 boons, which is also leap finisher, unblockable, really nice. And yeah, Spellbreaker conviction, you will just get your full counter here. Now, what is this build all about? It is about anti-condition, which means if you have a team that is playing double Scourge, double Reaper, double Condi Cancer, you can just rock this build and destroy them. I had a game, but I just not was able to record it against double Scourge plus Firebrand. I was able to sustain so long against them. They were try-harding to get me. I had so many dodges. I had my shield block. I had my Greatsword 3. I had my full counter. I had my Berserker Stance, Featherfoot Grace, and Healing Signet, and they just were not able to. Even with quickness and stuff, I was just running around and dodging and doing stuff really hard. So, to give you a little example here, what you can do, you can start here by just attacking, dodging, using your full counter, get the 2 seconds resistance, and after that you can do this. You are immune to condi damage, and after your resistance is gone, you can just use your shield block. After that, use your full counter again, another 2 seconds, use Featherfoot Grace, dodge a little bit the attacks, go with auto attacks here, do a little bit of damage, interrupt the enemy now in a while, do this, block, dodge again, use your signet, and meanwhile you should have also activated the other stances, which will mean you will have more vigor, you are able to dodge more often, dodging, blocking, and you can see this. I have so many dodges and my resistance is still up, and my healing signet could be also up again, but I triggered Berserker Stance a little bit too early before my signet resistance was gone. And you can see it up like this. If you do it properly, you will have every time one of your skills up again. The signet, your stance, or Featherfoot Grace up again until you get out of resistance. You have so much work, so many skills to work with. For example, the shield block, your full counter, your interrupt, and your wild wind attack. And then the best is just rush, run away. And then after 5 or 10 seconds, go back into the fight with all your skills refreshed and start fighting again. And as I just said, the strength of this build is when you have this resistance boon, no matter if it's from Berserker Stance, Featherfoot Grace, or your healing signet, you can just freely interrupt enemies, steal boons, deal damage, and run away how you like it the best, you know. Because with resistance they can't immobilize you, chill has no effects on you, cripple has no effect, slow has no effect, so you are really free to do whatever you want. And the best thing here is Spellbreaker is a counter to every condi class, every condi profession. The best thing to show is against soul beasts. You can just interrupt soul beasts and steal their boons. Once you have stability, for example with breaching strike or with a full counter, you can freely kill soul beasts by just auto attacking and interrupting their healing skill, and then bursting with your greatsword. Because with Berserker Stance, your resistance, they are not able to cripple, chill, or weaken you, which means you have your max damage output, which will be not so high depending on what amulet you use, but it will be more than enough to kill the enemy. And the other thing is, by removing the boons, you not just have one advantage, but you have two. You let your enemy boonless, which means he will have no stability, no protection. It will benefit you and your entire team, and you have nothing, and the enemy has nothing to counter you because you have perma resistance. They will just get wrecked if they 1v1 you. And the best thing here is, overall in a team fight, you can just do this, boom, and you can see it here: perma stability, perma resistance, and even vigor, so you are even able to dodge a little bit better on your rampage form and just AoE CC people. And while you CC someone, you will remove each time one boon, which means you can hit up to 4 people with your rampage 4 and 5, and then just remove each one times a boon, which is really annoying, especially against firebrands. A firebrand against me, he will have a hard time, because I know I can just auto attack. I can immediately stun him, disrupting stab for example, remove a boon, and then he will be forced to use his elite stability once. Then I know, oh, he used it once, so he will have only 2 more to use. So my goal is to auto attack him or to make him waste a dodge. So breaching strike is my main to go here. Breaching strike, he either avoids this, which means he will have only 1 dodge, or if you hit him, you can immediately stun him again. If he notices that you remove his stability, he will proc his second usage of the elite, which means he will have only one more to go. Otherwise he will be forced to use his Tom 3, and that will be not so great at the beginning of the fight. So he will have to use his elite probably most of the times. And then you can just repeat this process over and over again with your entire boon stealing and your perma resistance, no blinds, no weakness. You will have your max damage and you are annoying to all enemies. Now this game was like not the best, but I hope you understand what I mean with this build. In 1v1 situations, I recommend to take only 1v1s against professions that are only strong because of boons or corrupting. For example, you can beat with this build Reapers, Scourges, Soul Beasts and Firebrands. You can beat of course all the other professions as well if you are a skilled player, but these are the recommended one to take. Of course thieves and stuff, you know, the professions that are clear that you will beat them, I don't mention them. And against other professions, let's say enemy spellbreakers, it depends hard on your skill, because enemy spellbreakers will have the perma might stacking and the pull, they will have some more damage output than you, so you have to be just smarter and better timing playing than them. But otherwise the survivability of this build is pretty insane if you know how to play this build proper, and against condi players you will have 90% better chances to win a fight than them. But of course it takes a little bit of practice and time to master this build. So that was basically it. If you have any questions to the Spellbreaker anti-condition build, just ask me whatever you like to know, or overall PvP of course. And now you will see as always 3 of my other videos which you can watch or not, and of course you can subscribe to my YouTube channel only if you like to or not. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch for more live gameplay and live commentary. That was Happy No, thanks a lot for watching, bye bye guys, I see you in my next videos.